let's modify the shoulders. So as we go through and start to deconstruct and reconstruct our rig, we want to ask what is usable and what needs to be removed. What do we need to make again? Thankfully, the arms we'll be able to reuse. It'll take a little bit of effort to get them to fit inside of our new mesh, but we'll take it one step at a time. So let's go ahead and work our way from the shoulders all the way down to the fingers to kind of finish up our reworking process. And then at that point, we'll be ready to add just a few more controls for the hair, for the eyes, the belt, and we'll also add a buttocks preservation rig to kind of finish up. So, getting started, what I'll first do is separate the arms from the shoulder rig. So grabbing both arms, we'll press Shift-P. Okay, next step is to remove the orient constraints tied to the shoulders. We're going to need to reorient the shoulders to make sure that this rig fits inside of our character. So we could always start with the left side. We simply need to grab the orient constraint, grab its name, use the select by name text field to grab the object and delete it. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for the right side. Again, we grab the constraint from the channel box, select the object with select by name, and delete it. All right, so now we can go ahead and reorient these two bones. So starting on the left side, we'll go to our attribute editor, and we'll want to scroll down until we find our joint orient attributes. All we need to do here to straighten up the bone is to go ahead and set the y-axis to a value of 90 on both. Whoa, not 904, but 90, much better. Okay, so next step is to go ahead and take these end joints and pull them in. All right, so you can see how right now they are outside of our mesh, which is not good. So let's go ahead and start with the left side. Once we find a value for the left side, we'll be able to reciprocate that on the right side. So I'll just go to the move tool and start to pull this in so it fits inside of the mesh. Looks like about a value of 0.25 will work. So what I'll do now is use the reciprocal for the right side. So that's going to be negative 0.25. Okay, great. All right, let's go ahead and reconnect our shoulder rig. Let's go ahead and grab our shoulder control. We'll press the down arrow and the right direction to grab our locator that the bone was constrained to. You can see it's hidden, so let's go ahead and show it. We'll need to rematch the locator to the bone, the new orientation of this shoulder joint. So grabbing the joint, we'll shift select our locator and we'll choose constrain, parent constrain. And let's go ahead and take a look at the options. Resetting the settings, we'll want to make sure maintain offset is off. That way our locator is matched to our bone. And that way we can reorient constrain the bone safely back to the locator with no shifting. So I'll go ahead and choose apply. Notice the locator is now matched. Let's go ahead and remove its parent constraint. So we'll go ahead and select it and delete. All right, now at this point, it's just a matter of reorient constraining our bone. So let's go ahead and grab the bone, or grab the locator first, and then grab our bone and apply an orient constraint. Taking a look at our options, we don't need maintain offset. We've already taken care of that. Notice no shifting, everything's working just fine. Now if you find that your shoulder bone is too far back, in our case it kind of is, we'll probably want to bring that more forward. In that case, we can do that with both objects selected. We can simply just translate them forward to correct their position. Now, remember, we'd also want to take care of our right side, so you have a few options. You can always translate the left side to the point where you like it, take its Y value, and plug that into the y-axis of the right side, or you could always move them both at the same time in world mode. So I'll just go ahead and do that. That's a lot easier. But again, we'd want to make sure we're under world mode simply because this bone has been mirrored. So if we were to use, let's say, local, of course, the opposite bone is going to move opposite the bone we're moving forward. All right, so we'll go ahead and move them forward. All right, that's better. Great, so the bone has been orient constrained. If we were to grab our shoulder control, you could see that its pivot is offset, but it still works. It's still functional. So let's go ahead and take care of its pivot. We'll go to pivot mode, holding down the D key, hold down the V key, and snap to our shoulder bone. And now we can go to the shape level or component mode of our shoulder control and just move that forward. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and repeat the process for the right side. So we'll need to first grab our locator. We'll grab the shoulder control, hit the down arrow, move over in our hierarchy to grab our locator, show it, select our bone, select the locator, and go ahead and apply a parent constraint. Now we can remove the parent constraint and we can orient constrain the bone again. So grab the locator, grab the bone, apply an orient constraint. Next, we'll need to correct our shoulder control. So start by first correcting its pivot. We'll move that over. And now we can go to its shape. And if it helps, try going to a side view just to realign this control with its counterpart. So I'll just go ahead and move that over so that it's aligned with the left shoulder control. And we're good to go. All right, so we have managed to tweak the shoulders. In the next lesson, we'll start to work on reusing our arm rigs.